guys, and welcome back to erbsclass, man. For 5 more minutes of math, I got something new for you today. Okay, quadratics. Okay, I know you're like, what is a quadratic? Don't you worry about that. I'm about to show you. But before we get to quadratics, let's review a couple of other things real quick. Bang. Okay, I know this is way back, but this is going to help me explain my point. So quadratics are a new type of function or a new type of equation that we're going to talk about. So to talk about the new type of equation, let's talk about a couple of old ones, right? Remember lines, remember linear equations and linear functions. Remember f of x is the same as y. Okay, so a straight line, right? Look at all of these data points. Notice how they're all going up by the same amount. Remember, sometimes there will be numbers in front of here that would tilt that line. Sometimes there will be numbers after here that would kind of move that line. Yeah, and then after we talked about linear functions and lines, we also talked about, then we talked about exponentials, right? Where the x was the actual exponent. Yeah, remember what that picture looked like? The curve changed slope, right? Because instead of going up by the same number, these values were multiplying to get to the same number. Yeah, remember those? They would always be going up or they would always be going down. Just like in the last one, remember lines and linear equations, they either always go up or they always go down. Same with exponentials. They either always go up or they always go down. But this rate of change is changing. Okay, so that was linears and those were exponentials. That brings us right back to quadratics. Yes, so let's give a definition real quick about quadratics. So quadratics are your polynomial equations from the last videos where the highest exponent is 2, right? So there can be other terms after this. There'll be some numbers in front, some numbers after, maybe even some x's. But those x's can only have an exponent of 1. The highest exponent allowed in the quadratic is 2. Now when we get the higher exponents, they're called something else. But for right now, we're just talking about quadratics. Yeah. Okay, so this is what the equation looks like. This is the most basic quadratic equation there is. Yeah. So let's see what a graph would look like. Let's put some points in here. Good. So a couple of things I want you to notice about these points, right? Now, it's not going down by the same amount, and it doesn't seem like it's being multiplied by the same amount. But more importantly, notice how these numbers are going down, and then they're going back up again. It's going to show in our graph in a second, but I also want you to notice a couple of other things. Notice how this 4 is repeated. This 1 is repeated. Let's look at that graph and see if it makes more sense. Good. Now, notice when I plug this -2 in here, -2 squared is +4. Yeah, so this is why we get this U-shaped curve, which has a special name, a parabola. Yes, that's how it's pronounced, parabola. So every time you draw a picture of a quadratic equation, it's going to be some form of this U shape. Now that U can be moved all over this graph, over there, over here, even flipped upside down, skinny U's or wide U's, but every quadratic equation graphs into a parabola. Yeah. Now in the next video, we're going to talk more about that parabola and some of its key features, a couple of little things you should pick out on that parabola when it starts to get moved around. Yeah, but that's on the next video, man. I'm going to see you there. You should probably go check that one out now. All right, y'all. Bye.